What am I playing against? Brother, are we serious right now? Are you serious? Are you actually serious right now? Are you actually serious right now? I'm getting cheesed. I'm literally getting cheesed. Yeah, I will close chat. Jesus. I'm closing off. I'm turning off alerts as well. I'm turning them off, bro. I'm literally turning them off. Yeah, I'm like locking in. Thank you guys for all the support though. All right, let's go. It's over, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Still have painters in this guy. Who did it know? Be second stage on him again. I go pop this gen again. There we go, pull. 17 seconds. Resurgence. Unlucky. I lost. GG. I needed that hit right there. No painters over here at all. I'll take the hook for the popper option at least, I guess. Unlucky. GG's. Why would they do that to me, bro? Why would they do that? I'm genuinely confused. Why did they do that to me? I thought me and Note were like friends. Like me and Note's little brother were friends, bro. Why did they do that? Ultra's a nice guy. Why did they do that to me, bro? Genuinely, why did they do that, man? Why did they do that?
If you've been on DBD Twitter for the past 24 hours, everyone is talking about Momo's streak. It is the biggest, hottest topic right now, and interestingly enough, the community is pretty divided. We're going to go over some of the posts on Twitter, we're going to go over the doc that Note put out, and I'm going to give my personal opinion on the whole subject. And personally, I can say with 100% confidence that my opinion is the right one, and hopefully you feel the way I do by the end of this video. We're going to start off with some of the tweets that I've been seeing. A major theme that I'm seeing repeated over and over is stuff like this, talking about how, oh, well, Momo sweats all day and he finally meets a team that can match his energy, so I feel like it's fair game, and pretty much just downplaying his streak. And while I understand to some extent that side of the argument, I'm going to present stuff to you that'll maybe make you see it a little different towards the end. We're not going to address those tweets right away, only because the stuff that I have to counter those tweets are stuff that I would like to bring up later in the video. But we will get back to them, I promise. However, there are some funny tweets that I would just like to quickly glance over before we really jump into this, so I'm going to read them out. And who cares if they did snipe? It's just a game. This Momo person sounds like a crybaby loser. Can only win when the survivors bring random ass perks. Sniping your friend to end his win streak is like going to his wedding and kissing the bride. You just don't do that shit, man. It's a meaningless win streak for a shitty player with a disgusting ego. Love seeing him get humbled when people who are actually also trying really hard to win match against him. It's sad to see how people just see things so black and white, where Momo is just some sore loser crybaby egotistical maniac and he had it coming and he deserved it, and it's like, Momo's like pretty chill. Like if you actually watch the streams, he's like super chill, really nice. But whatever, that's besides the point. I feel like I have fractured entirely from reality with the way someone's win streak in a video game is being treated with the severity of a global event. We are not all on the same plane of reality. I don't know how to cope with that. A Google Doc over ending a win streak? Do any of y'all have any idea what's going on in the world or any ability to recognize how unimportant DBD is in the grand scheme of things? Jesus fucking Christ. There's ongoing genocides happening in multiple countries, a war, trans people / women losing their rights, AI destroying our planet, a climate emergency. You're right. It is being blown out of proportion. Forgive me for reminding people that there are more important things happening right now. I'm genuinely not trying to be argumentative or an asshole, and I appreciate you being rational in your responses, by the way. But like, yeah, in my opinion, the whole situation is ridiculous. Yes. Thank you, Real Booty Queen. Thank you for your useful input. You know, you're really adding a lot to this topic when you say stuff like that. I just feel like with that logic, you can just shut down any sort of conversation that's happening in any sort of topic if it's not as serious as something like a genocide, which is like one of the worst things that could possibly happen. I mean, why stop at drama? Oh, you didn't make it in med school? Yeah, well, there's kids in Gaza who didn't even get a chance to make it into med school because they were killed. Oh, your pet died? Imagine all the pets that died in Gaza. Oh, your mom died? Imagine all the families that were slaughtered in Gaza. It's like, can we talk about anything? Like, does it always have to come back to a genocide? Like, I don't know. I just feel like people like that are so insufferable. To just constantly bring up the worst thing happening to undermine other things that may not be as serious as that thing, to just stop the conversation. You are insufferable. Getting back on topic, let's actually address some of the more serious critiques. Before properly diving into the drama, I'd like to talk about innate advantages. Yes, skill expression is extremely important, but innate advantages also play a major role in competition. For example, you could have an immense knowledge of swimming and how to swim fast, but if you don't have an unnaturally large wingspan like Michael Phelps, you are never going to beat him in a swimming contest. You could have an immense knowledge of basketball on par with NBA players. If you are 5'9", you are never going to compete with an NBA player who on average are 6'6". You could have an immense knowledge of fighting and how to properly defend yourself. If you're up against someone twice your size with similar knowledge, you will never win that fight. Unless you are using weapons, but that's cheating. You're probably wondering what this has to do with Momo or anything DBD related, but I can assure you there is a correlation. Anyone who truly understands this game or plays this game competitively at a high level will tell you that this game at its core is survivor-sided. In competitive DBD, where the knowledge of players is exceptional, certain perks and add-ons are banned in comp. The reason being, in the right hands, the competition turns completely one-sided for survivors. It's less about skill expression and becomes more about what you bring. To keep things fair, the comp scene has come to an agreement on what is or isn't allowed. That's why seeing people like Noah and Angels who play comp at a high level bringing brand new part and 2 shoulders, 2 things that these people know will never see the light of day in comp, is a huge slap in the face to Momo's streak and destroys any sort of proper skill expression for Momo to express. Especially with the win con being that no one can escape through an exit gate, not a single person. So Momo is left to deal with the most impossible task of having to beat a comp team bringing broken stuff and having to 4K. Imagine you're really good at street ball. Obviously the NBA exists, but in your region you're exceptionally good at street ball. On rare occasions you lose, but more often than not you win. Let's say your average loss happens 1 in every 100 matches. You try to set a goal for yourself to win 200 games back to back. Imagine you're on your 195th game and out of nowhere, LeBron James shows up and requests a 1v1. To make things worse, he knew about your streak and still wanted to face you regardless. He's not doing anything wrong necessarily, but I'm sure everyone would look at LeBron and be like, wow, what a scummy thing to do. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Adrian, you're gonna compare losing a pub streak to losing to LeBron James? And honestly, yeah, I am exactly saying that. You have to play out of your mind to compete against the advantages you don't have, while the opposing team doesn't have to try as hard to beat you. This is why the NBA average height of players are 6'6", because the existence of these factors are an innate advantage regardless of skill. Bringing 2 shoulder of burdens and a brand new part is like being 6'6" going against a 5'9" opponent. 5'9" is always going to lose. Even outside of the NBA, there's weight classes in professional fighting, because if you put an experienced featherweight, which is a very light person, like 120, 140 weight, against an experienced heavyweight, which is like 200 pounds, the featherweight is never going to win. I mean, look at this shit. 2 dead hards, 2 DSs, 2 shoulder of burdens, 3 resurgence, a brand new part, a comp team. Momo can't win this. And you can't even say, oh, well, if he tries hard enough, it doesn't matter in this sense. Remember, I told you, people with similar skill, what it comes down to now is innate advantage. When you have 2 shoulder of burdens with a comp team, you're never losing. If you lose, I don't... How do you even lose that? As a comp team, you're not losing that. Doesn't matter who you're going against. That's why these things are banned. 3 resurgences, that's an insta-heal off the hook against a really, really, really strong team. It's not even fair at that point. The best thing that killers can bring, whether it's the killer itself, the add-ons, are nowhere near as good as what the best survivors can bring. So that's why when I see tweets like these, so y'all are genuinely upset that once this team randomly got into the lobby with Momo, they switched their builds? At this point, Momo should just load up customs and get that 2,000 game win streak against bots, because y'all don't care about the competition. Also, there's no doubt that Momo is goated at Blight win streaking, no denying it. But I genuinely went and watched that last game, and it was so entertaining. I wish there were more games like that in a 1,900 plus win streak versus just beating up on uncoordinated randoms. And tweets like this, bro destroyed and tunneled casual players who probably hopped on after work for 1,900 games, and y'all want people to feel sorry for him? Be so for real. What pleasure does someone get from curb stomping casual players to achieve an inflated win streak at the expense of miserable short-lived games and a cancer playstyle? Momo has mentioned how unfun his Blight is to face. He got survivors that he should be getting every time. All of these tweets undermine the fact that this is a comp team bringing stuff that makes it virtually impossible for the killer to win. Even if you're the best killer in the game, even if you're bringing the best add-ons, no amount of stuff that you bring is going to compete with 3 resurgences, 2 DSs, brand new part, comp. You simply cannot win against that. Note ended up putting out a Google Doc that explained the whole situation. I've already read the whole thing, but I'm only going to bring up the parts that I think are actually worth bringing up. Did we snipe? The short answer is no. We did not snipe Momo 7's lobby. This match was completely random. My team and I queued up to play public matches like we normally do, and we happened to load into a game against him. There was no prior coordination, no queue timing, and no attempt to target his stream or win streak. What happened once we realized it was him? Once we loaded into the lobby, we were receiving multiple messages through Discord and Steam from others telling us that we had gone into his game. We were also aware that he was live. I want to be clear, yes, we knew who we were playing against. It was an incredibly exciting moment when we realized we were versing Momo. Not only for us, but for the 3,000 viewers in the chat, which was going crazy. Yes, we wanted to take the game seriously and try our best, and yes, we wanted to win. We did switch our builds in the lobby to increase our chances. Guys, we didn't snipe him. We just switched our builds to really broken stuff when we realized it was him and saw he was streaking. No, we didn't rob the bank. We just walked past it and saw the vault was open, and then we just took the money. But we didn't rob the bank because we didn't plan it. I don't think, however, as many people suggested after, that this means Momo was powerless or we were guaranteed to win. Say it was a fair shot? Is that what you would say? You'd say, if anything, there's a good chance he could have won if he really tried hard enough. Is that what really the implications that we're doing right now? At the end of the day, both sides load into a match with the same opportunity to play and win using tools the game provides. Choosing to play more seriously in a match, especially against a strong opponent, is not the same as cheating or targeting. Personally, I think that last part is extremely bad faith, especially being part of comp, like I said before, knowing that there are certain perks that are banned and certain combinations that are banned, and repeat perks are banned, and brand new part is banned, and you're just bringing all of that acting like, oh, well, you know, the game provides it to us, so this is a fair advantage, and you're part of a community that understands that that's simply not the case, and that's why these things are banned to begin with. You are so full of shit. What do you mean it still could have gone either way? No, it literally could not have gone, it only could have gone one way. It was only going downhill for Momo, that's it. What were our options in that moment? Once we realized we were in a match against Momo 7th, we were put in a position where any decision we made could be criticized. There were realistically 3 options available to us. 1. Dodge the lobby. 2. Intentionally lose the match. 3. Play the match normally. The final option was to simply play the game as intended. This is the option we chose. We approached the match seriously and played to the best of our ability, just as any player would in a normal game. Yeah, play the match normally, not switch your build last second when you realize it's Momo. That's not playing normally. 4. Harassment and toxicity after the match. After the match, the situation escalated far beyond what anyone should experience from a video game. Members of my group, especially Angels, began receiving targeted harassment, including personal attacks, threats, and attempts to spread misinformation. Every normal person knows this. I don't know why you included this in the doc after you screwed over your friend as a way to garner some sympathy. I think every streamer, or at least a majority of them, have experienced threats like this. I think there's just a lot of mentally unwell people online, and for the most part, it's pretty empty. Like, no one's actually gonna do anything because of this. People are just upset and they're saying crazy stuff. Again, and I'm not trying to undermine it, but it's literally like that's just what happens online. Like, you could be the nicest guy ever, and there's going to be someone in your chat that wants you to die. You know, like, that's just how it is, unfortunately. 6. Closing statement. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there's one part I really want to read because it's so bad faith. If we were to face this situation again, we would make different choices, such as dodging a lobby if necessary to avoid unnecessary drama. That said, we still believe a match should be played fairly, and winning or losing is part of the game. A win streak is meant to be challenged and earned, not guaranteed. You got some nerve saying, we believe a match should be played fairly, and then you bring 2 shoulders and a brand new part and 3 resurgences. Like, what's so fair about that? And then you want to say on top of it, a win streak is meant to be challenged and earned, not guaranteed. Bro. The stuff you're bringing at your skill level is guaranteed. You are going to win. This is so bad faith. I can't believe you even put this in here. That's crazy. Especially as a comp player. You're not even some, like, ignorant, oh, I just play pubs and I really don't know what I'm talking about and I don't really understand this game. You're a comp player. You know this. Why would you include this? And look at his previous games. Yeah, Dead Hard, Ace in the Hole, Resi, Resurgence. Yeah, Toolbox with some charges. Right when he goes against Momo, he switches to shoulder and brand new part. That's not you playing normally. You were given information about the killer, and you switched your build to put something that's impossible to go against with a coordinated team. You knew exactly what you were doing. And apparently, according to Momo himself in Nightlight's stream, he stated that they started pubbing exactly when he started streaming. 12 p.m. EST, both of us, at Nightlight. They happened to start pubbing exactly when I started streaming. Yeah, we started at the exact same time. This is like the 5th time, bro. Now, obviously, I can't verify this. I don't know if this is true, but personally, I believe it. I think it was totally intentional, and they're seeing how much backlash they're getting, and they're trying to act like it wasn't intentional. It totally was. I am a firm believer that it was 100% intentional. Personally, I think you should not be able to win 2,000 games in a row. I think that's a bit much. I think a big reason why Momo was able to do this to begin with is because of a killer like Blight, who's definitely overtuned, which is not to diminish Momo's skill. I just think Blight's a little too strong. In conclusion, Momo got cheesed by his own friends. Really sad stuff. Imagine, like, Momo was building a house of cards, going for, like, the Guinness record, and he was about to, like, beat that record, and then Angels and Note shows up. They're like, oh, what a nice house of cards. And all the cards fall. And then to end it off, they're like, I love you, Momo. Like, you're kind of an asshole for that. Anyways, you can find me on Twitch. I feel bad for people who watched me in the past because I keep saying I'm going to go live and I never do, but I just like to plug this in for the one day that I start streaming consistently. Maybe. I don't want to start lying to y'all and saying, oh, I'm going to do it, and I just don't do it. Sorry. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to end this video with a tweet that I saw, and I feel like it kind of sums up everything, and I also think it'll be a good way to end the video. Momo with 1,992 consecutive wins with Blight. It's a special day because he's about to reach 2,000 victories. His friends show up and break his streak because they've sniped him and prepared for builds to smash his 2K. With friends like that, you don't need enemies. Oh my god.